We didn't talk about the moosey because he doesn't have any left.
Oh, there was one, but it must have walked off.
So they sold them all yesterday. It was by 12.
Yeah.
And he had 3 whoop charkas. They were gone by 11.
Oh, they were here when I came in too. That's right. I remember seeing them.
So you started Knitty.com. How did that come about?
If you were on the web around 2001, 2002, you saw a lot of being like 6 knit bloggers. And some of them were really good designers and were putting patterns up on their sites for free and just giving them away. And when you had a blog here and a blog there and a blog there, and okay, we had a blog ring, but did it even work? The technology, you click and maybe somebody's link would be broken. So you couldn't find each other. So I decided that we had the resources for a magazine and I really wanted out of my job. And I thought at the very least it would help build my resume. I'd be an editor. So I thought I would do an issue. And we did an issue. And people actually sent in stuff. And some of it was actually really good. And people freaked out. What? It's free? What? Huh? And of course, the first issue was all 100% positive praise. You couldn't do a thing wrong. It was so cool that it was so fresh and so new that everybody was so happy. And by the second issue, then they started to treat us like everybody else gets treated on the web and realize that, you have to deal with the same criteria. You got to go for quality. You got to improve. So the first one was like a let's put on a show, and by the second one I realized it was my dream job and had to start taking it more seriously and work on making it better. And I never thought I'd get to quit the day job, but it took about 4 years and I did.
You just started Knitty Spin recently. In fact, you have a heading page for it. How did that get started?
Well, Knitty Spin actually was just a column at first. And it was just about me spinning non-wool because it's sort of like being the only whatever in a group full of other people. I'm the only non-wool spinner pretty much anywhere around. If you take a look, there are very few resources for people who do not spin any wool. People sometimes spin silk with wool or whatever, but people who don't spin any, there's nothing. I wanted to prove a point that you could spin, even though everyone says it's easier with wool, with other things, as long as you don't know any better and you just go forward doing the best you can and improving, and that's exactly what I've done. So it started with a column, and then we started getting a little bit of spinning content, and we realized there was this sort of group of knitters that wanted to spin, and it was a bit of a space. It's not spinning weavers or spinning whatever. These are spinners who just spin for spinning. These are people who spin and knit and maybe came to spinning after knitting.
Right.
So that's sort of the focus. And Jillian took over Jillian Moreno was the editor of Knitty Spin, and she took that position about a year, 2 years ago, and has worked on building the content. And I think it's very high quality content. And it's a tiny little magazine. There may be 6 pages, within Knitty that are Knitty Spin pages, but they're all really good.
As a new spinner, I've actually found them really, really helpful, especially when they show sort of the start of the project from spinning all the way to a knitted item. I think that helps people to really comprehend how different wools can apply to a project and things like that, or different fibers.
And we're sort of hoping to help people slide in. People who will say, I at the beginning said I would never spin either. I know I will never weave. I will say that on the record. But I said I would never spin because it just never seemed achievable. And when I started seeing things that looked like I wanted to do them, it brought me in sideways. So we'll have patterns that call for handspun, but they also right beside it say what you can buy to knit the same thing if you want. And if you really want the exact same look, then you're going to have to spin it.
Right.
And maybe one day it might occur to you to try. And so hopefully we'll get people to appreciate the creation of yarn from every angle.
We were looking for some kind of a small business to retire into. We investigated it, found out about the fiber possibilities, liked the animals and the way they were handled, and decided to get ourselves a small herd and start it.
So how many animals do you guys have?
Yeah, we have 11 at this point. We started out with a bull and three heifers, and we've had 3 babies every spring, usually 2 girls and 1 boy. We bought a steer so that the bull would have somebody to play with, because he thought Carl was his buddy, and the bull would always win.
Our animals were hand-raised, not bottle-fed, but hand-raised, so they're accustomed to people. All winter, they grow a downy undercoat, and then in the spring, as they start to lose that hair, we comb it off. So we use dog brushes that look like large rakes, and we just stand in the corral with them while they're eating lunch and just comb it off.
They're not quite as big as you'd think, actually. They're only about 2/3 as big as domestic U.S. cattle. So the cows are that high. That's 400 to 600 pounds, and you only comb the saddle area, the back. You never comb the skirt, the real long hair on the skirt. The bulls will get much bigger. But even them, they love that combing because it's an all-over scratch to them.
One of the things we've done is really worked hard to keep a very consistent quality about our fiber. And I think that's one of the big pluses with the exotics. People have imported yak fiber from China or from Tibet directly. Their quality standards are different. I don't want to say that they don't have a high quality, but they're different. The Tibetans don't knit a whole lot. They felt, they weave, they knot it and tie it, but they don't knit. So they don't take the guard hair out, so it's not as soft. The yak come in two basic colors. We have an all black or dark brown yak, which is called an imperial. And then there's a black and white yak that looks a lot like a Holstein cow, and those are called royals. So what we have is all natural colors. We don't dye any of our colors, we don't bleach any of our fibers. So we have a cream and a dark brown that we start with, and then the only color change you'll see is as we blend the fiber with other fibers. So the Cormo blend gets a kind of almost like an oatmeal color to it. The alpaca blend stays a nice dark color because we blend that with gray alpaca. That's a bamboo blend. This is 25% bamboo and 75% yak. We also do a 50-50 alpaca and yak blend. We have a Cormo blend. We blend it also with merino. And we used to have a silk blend, which was not up to our standards, so the silk blend has since gone away and been replaced with the bamboo.
So you find a lot of folks who want to knit with it would like it blended, perhaps?
Well, the blending does a couple of things. The first thing it does is it really helps bring out some of the better qualities of the yak. All right, each one of the blends is wonderfully soft and easy to deal with. The bamboo, for example, brings a little bit of a luster to it, so there's tremendous stitch definition to what you do. So if you're doing intricate work, it really shows off real well.
It also adds a little bit of strength to the yarn. In the 100%, although it's a great strong yarn for apparel, it's not going to hold up to the wear and tear of socks. We actually design all the different blends of the yarn to showcase the beauty of yak and the beauty of what it's being blended with, in a very positive way.
Our next live show is scheduled for February 28th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Join us for a virtual show and tell and to chat about your latest projects. Friending on Stickcam is automatic, but sometimes it's a bit slow. It may take a half hour or so. Be sure to friend me well before the show starts so you won't have trouble getting into the chat. Go to letsknittogether.com/live for complete details on how to participate. From March 12th through the 17th, we'll be attending the South by Southwest Interactive Conference in Austin, Texas. If you're planning to attend and would like to meet up, email me at kat@letsknittogether.com. We've talked in previous episodes about our goal of making our shows sustainable. One way to achieve this is through advertising or sponsorship. That's why today we're excited to announce our very first sponsor, Bijou Basin Ranch. As you just saw from our trip a few months ago to Rhinebeck, they have beautiful yarns and fibers, and we're thrilled to have their support. When you use our promo code lk2g during checkout at their online store, you'll get a 5% discount on all their products. They carry yak and yak blend yarns in lace, fingering, and worsted weights in cream and brown. They also carry yak fiber in down and roving. All sales come with a 100% no questions asked money-back guarantee. They sent me some of their Cormo yak blend worsted weight to try out, and I've been knitting this Gretel hat. It's incredibly soft and squishy, and it has great stitch definition for cables. I'm just loving working with this, and it's making a luxurious hat. Go to our website, letsknittogether.com, and click on the Bijou Basin Ranch button to get to their online store. By using the code lk2g during checkout, not only will you be getting incredible yarn and fiber, but you'll also be supporting Let's Knit Together. And I've been knitting with this.
Something like that.